My name is Addison Jordan. I attend the University of North Texas, and I am a jazz studies major. The instruments that I play are saxophone. I mainly play tenor saxophone. I also play alto saxophone, soprano saxophone, the bari saxophone, play clarinet, bass clarinet, flute, the iwi, which is electric wind instrument. And I play a little bit of piano as well. The reason I chose jazz was because it's the way it speaks to me and the expressive element that it brings. Like on different days it can be happy, or it can be sad, or it can make you cry, or it can do all these different things, and I just think that's the greatest thing in the world. And it makes I think it makes other people feel something. Well, I guess I'll give you a little introduction of how I started playing music, and then I'll get into how we started playing specifically more jazz, fusion type music. So I always knew I wanted to play in a band. Ever since probably late elementary school, I always knew I wanted to play in the band, and I always knew I wanted to play the saxophone because my father played the saxophone. I had a cousin that played the saxophone, and I had an uncle that played the saxophone. So it just kind of gravitated towards me, and I just picked up the saxophone in middle school, started playing there. Back then, I wasn't really that interested into the music thing. I was more into sports, and I wanted to play basketball and things like that. So music wasn't really in the forefront of my mind back then. But then when high school came, my dad told me he wanted me to audition for Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts. And I tried it out and I fell in love. And that's when I actually started really playing jazz. The school was very known for its jazz music, and I just got immersed in that scene, and that's how it started. My time at Booker T, it was very different from a normal, I guess, quote unquote, normal high school experience. First of all, I took the train to school every day, so that was really interesting. From being on the suburbs, taking the train, you meet a lot of different people, a lot of different characters on the train. That was very interesting. But aside from that part, musically, I was very involved in different types of music. I played in the big band. I played in the R&B ensemble while I was there. I played with the pop ensemble. I played in the jazz combos. There was just so many opportunities, so many different styles of music for me to learn how to play, and it gave me the opportunity to learn how to play in those different styles and how to be a professional and all types of different things. One of my most memorable times as a musician was when the group that I was in at Booker T, the Top Jazz Combo, we were selected by the Thelonious Monk Institute to be the national touring combo. And on this tour, we went to Phoenix, Arizona and Tucson, Arizona, and we played clinics, and we played at some jazz clubs, and that was one of the greatest weeks of my life, playing great music with my friends and meeting a lot of new people. And hopefully we encourage some kids to check out some music or anything. We just encouraged them about just life or anything, just had a conversation with them. We got to play with some jazz musicians, and that was just a great experience, and I just cherish it. It was one of the greatest weeks probably of my life. I got to play great music with some of my friends, and I got to meet a lot of people, and hopefully I inspired someone to maybe become interested in jazz, and that was the whole point of the tour, and it was just a great week. In music, I have plenty of influences, a lot of different people that I look up to, a lot of different people that I try to resemble in their sound, a lot of people who I study. But I'd say probably my favorite would have to be a saxophone player by the name of Sonny Rollins. Just his time concept and his phrasing and just everything about his saxophone playing just really just captures me, and every time I hear him play, it just takes me to a different place, you know? practice is key. Practice is essential in being a musician. You can't have any technique or any facility on your instrument if you don't practice. So practice is key, and I practice every day. For some days it might be for an hour or two, other days it might be for 5 or 6 hours, just depending on what's going on. But practicing is key, and you can't be a musician and not practice. With my music degree, I would like to perform music all around the world, and I'd also like to teach at a college or at a performing arts high school or something of that sort. That's what I would like to do with my degree. I know, as I've been told by many of people who are doing it, and that it's very hard to get into. One thing that led me to choose UNT as my college was the 1 O'Clock Lab Band, which is their top jazz band, big band. And they get so many amazing opportunities to perform and play at different places, and one day I would hope to be in that band. Another thing about UNT is that there are just a lot of people from all parts of the world. Like, there are so many people that I've met from Europe and Asia and South America, so it's a really diverse place where a lot of musicians come and they have a lot of different stuff to bring to the table, so I really enjoyed that about UNT. My parents have always been supportive of me in everything I've done, and this especially goes towards music, as in buying instruments and taking me to lessons and taking me here and there and doing all these things. So I'm grateful for them for having all that support in me and doing everything that they can to make my dream become a reality.